Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Nufftingz Speaks with your host, Nufftingz. So today I had a funny interaction with my phone, my mobile provider. So my mobile provider is a company called Bell Canada, right? And they're extremely, it's criminal how much they charge for stuff. And what I mean is our internet overpriced. That's why I switched to Rogers. My phone's overpriced. And, I got so many phones. I got mine, I got the kids. I just don't really want to switch. So, anywho, one of the phones that I was like every 2 years we upgrade our phones, right? So, well, I do because, I game on my phone, so I got to keep up to date. So, I don't go as far as to do it every year because that's just crazy. Like extremely crazy. Like every year, y'all better than me. Anywho, so what happened was I was getting because with this whole tariffs and everything and all this stuff going on with the states, everyone in Canada now was like, gotta get it homegrown, gotta get Canadian stuff, right? And it's like, all right, so Bell Canada decided they were going to make their own phones. And this phone is like called Ahlo or something, Ahlo. And they're like $300 phones, right? They're cheap. They're nothing like an Android. They run on an Android processor, but they're not Android phones, right? And when I got the first one, it wasn't for me, it was for someone else, right? It was for the mother of my kids, right? She was upgrading her stuff and her phone has a crack on it and whatever. So we've always used, Samsung, S23s, S25s, things like that, right? Um, so she wanted to get the cheaper phone. Well, I was saying that let's get the cheaper phone because, you don't game like me. You only play Pokemon Go. You don't use your phone for much, whatever, right? So these phones are like, with tax and everything, they're like $380. So whatever. I'm like, well, it's better than 2000, right? Okay. Now my stupid behind thought that, well, maybe the phones will still run okay. So anyways, the first one came and it had a pin. So I'm like, yo, why is there a pin on this phone? Like right out the box, there was a pin. So I can't get in. So I'm checking the stuff. If there's like an auto pin, like not an auto pin, but like a default pin to get in. So like, you get a phone and it has a pin already and you just put the default pin and you change it. So like when you have a password for a voicemail, they give you some random password. It's like your phone number or something. So I tried all that. So I called Bell and I'm like, yeah, how do I get in? Oh, we don't know, sir. It shouldn't have had a pin. All right, do you have like a default pin so I can get in? No, sir, we don't have that. Are you sure you didn't do a pin? I'm like, no, like this is like fresh out the box. And they're like, oh no, sir, are you sure? Like, and they didn't believe me at first, but I'm like, look, man, I'm not trying to jip you on some phones here. Like, it doesn't make sense for me to put a pin and then the pin doesn't work. And I don't know if anybody would do that, but whatever. So they're like, oh, we're gonna have to send it back. All right, cool. But we're gonna send you like a new phone. So, all right, cool. So the next week or so, another phone comes. All right. So everything's fine. This one you can get in. There was no pin. But then, um, I'm trying to charge the thing. So I had it charging for like an hour, right? It didn't go up at all. I'm like, yo, what the hell? Why is it not charging? So I tried different chargers. I tried fast chargers. I tried the charger it came with. I tried all types of chargers, right? And I left it charging for 2 days, 48 hours. Okay. It went up 5%. I'm like, bro, what? So they gave me another piece of junk phone. So now back on to calling Bell. Hello, Bell. The phone ain't working. It doesn't charge. So then, of course, they go through all the troubleshooting like they did with the pin. They're like, oh, did you try the charger that came in the box? Yes. Did you use a fast charger? Yes. Did you turn the phone off and turn it back on? Yes. And it was everything that they said. And like, oh, sir, we got to take this one back too. They're like, would you like another phone? No, I'm good. I don't want a new phone right now. I'll just go back to my Androids because y'all phones are trash. So now I'm expecting the postage back because you send it back, they give you a postage, right? But then they're like, you have to box it yourself and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Use an Amazon box, whatever, right? So the postage comes, like a week or two later. It was probably like a week and a half, right? Didn't come overnight. Took a while. And I don't know if during that time we were having the postage issues where Canada Post kept going. Canada Post goes on strike like every couple of years. Um, like all the time they go on strike. They always asking for more money, more whatever. I don't know the specifics, or I can't really speak on it, but because I don't really care. But it's just they're always going on strike. Like I swear to God, every 2-3 years they go on strike. Same with teachers. It's a lot of people go on strike now. Anywho, so I get the postage and then I'm like, okay, but it's only for one. So I call them and I'm like, okay, the postage, can I use it for both phones? Oh, let us check, sir. Now, here's the joke. They didn't want to take back the phone with the PIN problem because they claim that for them to unlock a phone, it costs $50. And I'm like, well, I didn't lock the phone to begin with. Like, I never put a PIN. So apparently, if you have a phone and you give it back and you have a PIN on it, they charge you $50 to get, through the PIN if you don't give them the PIN. Apparently, if you give them the PIN, they still charge you because it's extra work for them, right? I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I'm like, I did not have a PIN, so I couldn't even tell you what it was anyways. So I had to go through all these channels so that they wouldn't charge me for that. They go, well, sir, since, it wasn't you that did it, we're giving you a pass this time. I'm like, what do you mean give me a pass this time? Y'all gave me a phone with a PIN. Like, do you even check the stuff where you send it out? No, apparently not, because this one happened twice. First is the PIN, then it's the battery. So you're clearly giving us refurbished phones, obviously. You're charging them more than what they're worth, and they don't work. Okay, cool. Now, so I asked them, I go, yo, can I put them in the same box with the same postage? Because, the postage has a weight on it, whatever. They go, oh, sir, it's fine. We're giving you a pass this time. Okay. So I get the stuff in a box and I send it, right? I don't know. I think I probably sent it like 30 days after. Like I got busy and I forgot because we're not even going to use the phones, right? So anyways, I get a bill. Oh, $780. It was $380 per phone, right? So, sorry, $760 altogether, right? All right, fine. But I had received an email that the phones were received, and they thanked me, and I expected that to be taken off my bill. So they received it August 25th. And it came with an email where it had their logo, one of their one of those Bell Canada generated logos. Whatever, right? It's their thing, So it says, "Oh, we received your stuff. Thank you so much." Cool. Now my bill hasn't changed yet, so I called them today, and I'm like, "Hey, I call. Sorry, first because when you're on their website, like when you're into your account looking at it, you talk to someone through the contact part, and it's usually a bot. It's AI." And AI is like, oh, we can't help you. We're going to have someone call you. All right, cool. So a lady calls me. And right from the get-go, this lady is a miserable old bag. Oh my God, was she miserable. Just rude, just mean, just oh my God, she was just an awful sounding person. I'm not saying she's a bad person, but she just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Maybe she fell off the bed. I don't know what happened to her, but she was miserable, bro. She was crazy miserable. So, all right. So she says to me, we need information. Okay, cool. So I give her my name, my address, the account number, all that good stuff, right? She then says to me, what am I calling about? And I told her. And she goes, well, I need more information, sir. All right. What more information do you need? She goes, I need the email. All right, cool. So on the email, there's a tracking number, right? So I give her the tracking number. Sir, that's not the right tracking number. Okay. This is the tracking number on there. She goes, well, it's not right. and she's just rude. And I'm like, yo, okay, calm down. And she's like, I really need more information though. I cannot help you. Like, she's just straight, rude. And I'm like, all right. So I give her all the information. And she, every time I'm trying to talk, she's cutting me off. She's practically like sort of talking down to me. It sounded to me like she thought I was lying or something. So she then goes, well, you were too late in sending back the devices. I'm like, okay. She goes, you only had 30 days. I'm like, well, ma'am, no one told me that. I had no idea that there was a time limit. Like no one said to me, whatever. And then I go, plus I didn't even receive this stuff until like weeks after. So it wasn't like I got the postage back the same day. Anyway, so she goes, well, where did you send it? What day? I don't know. Like, I don't remember what day I sent it, but I mean, you guys got it on the 25th. So I don't understand what, like, you already have this stuff. So why does this even matter? She goes, what did you use? I'm like, what do you mean what I use? She goes, which postal service did you use? I'm like, I don't remember. She goes, well, we only use Canada Post. Okay, look, I use whatever was on the order number or the order form, like, the postage. That's the only thing I use. I remember I told her I went to a Staples and we have Canada Post there and I sent it. She goes, well, there's nothing in my records here about anything. I'm like, all right. So then she's like, let me look a little further. She looks a little further. She finds it. And she's like, well, like I said, you can't, we can't give you back the money. We can't credit your not giving back, but credit my account. I'm like, because of the 30-day thing? She goes, yes. I go, but I was never told that. Like, no one told that to me. And if that was the case, why didn't the email say, look, you were too late. We're going to send you back the phones? Because if I bought them, I should have them in my possession, right? She's like, telling me that, no, you got to pay this bill and whatever, right? I'm like, look, I'm not, like, I didn't even get into this, but now it's my head thinking like, oh my God, I got to pay this goddamn bill. Like, for what? Like, I don't even have these phones. They gave me 2 crap phones that didn't even work. I didn't even get 5 minutes of these phones. Why am I paying for them? Right? So she's there, rude as hell. And then I'm like, look, I'm not paying for these phones. Like, like, I didn't even get to use them. Like, I don't, like, give them back then. She goes, we can't do that, sir. It belongs to us now, but you got to pay for it because you're too late in sending them back. I'm like, all right. So under my breath, I'm like, so sorry. No, before I say under my breath, I said to her, I'm like, are you sure you can't do something? She goes, I can't do anything, whatever. I'm like, all right. So under my breath, I go, this is effing stupid. Not to her, under my breath, I said, this is effing stupid. She goes, all of a sudden, yo, my girl snaps. She goes, sir, do not speak to me like that. You do not swear on the phone and blah, blah, blah. And she's just going on. And I'm like, yo, excuse me, what? She's like, you respect me when you talk to me. You don't swear on the phone with me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, are you okay? I wasn't swearing at you. I just said under my breath, this is effed up because I have to spend money on something I don't get to use. I got to pay $760. Like, money ain't growing on trees out here, man. Yo, people are struggling. Yo, my girl is off, just yelling. And I'm like, yo, my girl is on some next level right now. So then I looked at my baby mama and I go, this girl don't know who she's talking to, eh? Because, yo, the Jamaican was creeping out of my back pocket. I was going to cuss her. And she just kept going on. And, yo, she was so loud. And I'm like, yo, this girl don't know me. Yo, you know what? My girl, you all right. You all right. You all right. I was like, yo, this put me through to somebody else because I'm done talking to you. Yo, it took this girl 5 minutes to move me over to somebody else, which I thought was hilarious. I'm like, yo, this is the longest wait. Anywho, I'm telling you, yo, God is my witness. This lady lost her damn mind. And I was like, bro, why is she so angry? Like, but I'm telling you, from the beginning of the conversation, I knew this was not going to work properly, bro. I just knew she was just not in it today. She wasn't feeling it. I don't know what was going on with her. I don't know what situation she found out in her life, but she was not supposed to clock in this morning. So Anyways, I get to somebody else and I have to repeat everything all over again because there's no notes of the conversation before. This lady now says, "Oh, sir, you have 90 days to return it." And even then you still get your money back because we took the item. You get credited. You don't get your money back. You get credited, right? So she goes, just wait till the next billing cycle, but you'll be fine. If it doesn't work the next billing cycle, if it's not on there, she's like, wait till October, right? But then if nothing happens, call us back. And she explained it to me. She goes, yeah, we got it. We got the stuff, and it just takes a while to whatever. You just got to pay your bill for the time being, and then you get credited for it, right? I'm like, okay, because my bill went up to like $2,000. So I was like, bro, like I'm not trying to pay this thing, because of some $700 phones, right? Because you know what they do too, right? When you don't pay the full amount at the time they want, you get hit with more charges, right? And it's like, yo, so now I'm getting paid for charges on something that should be credited right away, right? But I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna argue, whatever. That's cool. In October, if it doesn't, come off my bill, I'm gonna have to holler at them again, right? Hopefully I don't get the same lady. But it shows you the difference. I'm not saying that they don't deal with assholes all the time. My point is, like, what I'm saying is, like, look, money is hard to come by. You started off angry, and you just kept, pinching at me. Like everything she was saying, it was just highly aggressive, highly angry. And it's like, yo, you know, you're trying to get me to tell you stuff, and I'm trying to tell you, you're cutting me off. Like you're asking me questions I don't know the answer to. You're telling me that I'm giving you the wrong tracking number, but this is the tracking number on the thing. Like, I get it. Your job might be hard. I've never done it before. I don't know. You probably deal with ding dongs all the time, but there's no reason that you dealt with a ding dong at 8:30 and now you're mad at me at 8:35. Like I didn't do anything to you. Like you didn't want to help. And then this next lady was able to fix the problem. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it was weird. Like, it was just weird how you went from one crazy person to a normal person, and the second person was like, thank you for being such a long time customer of Bell and not leaving and blah, blah, blah. And I never heard that before, like not leaving. And I'm like, dude, okay. But, it's interactions like that some people will just cut their phones. They were like, you know what? How dare you talk to me like that? I'm gonna go to Rogers. It's just one of those things where it's like, if you were the only phone company, you could be rude to everybody because no one's got a choice. But when people have options, you need to chill, bro, because how they do things against Rogers and Bell, let's say I were to switch my phones, right? And let's say I want to go to Rogers. I can keep my number. And I've done this before. This is years ago. I don't know if they still do it now, but from what I remember, let's say I were to go from Rogers to Bell and I have like a phone, whatever, I have a number. When I call Bell, they don't I don't cut off my phone. They do it. As in, they get through to Rogers and say, all right, this number is ours now. This person is leaving, they're coming to us. Sort of like a spit in your face type of thing, which I think is hilarious. I don't know if they still do it now, but it's sort of funny. Like you switch, phones. You take the number. You take the number with you. I think they might stop that now, but back then, it like Bell or Rogers wanted to tell their opposition that, yo, we took your customer. Here's a middle finger, and I think that's hilarious. It's funny, but like I could switch, but I don't want to. But like, you can't be rude to people and expect them to want to stay. If there's options, like I said, if you were the only show in town, you can do whatever you want. But when there's alternative, like and it's not even only Bell and Rogers. We have so many phone companies out here. So, and everybody, the states have more, but Canada got a good amount. It's just Rogers and Bell are the top two, right? But, it's like, what was wrong with old girl? And I mean, I know they record these conversations, so I wonder if like her supervisor hears it and what they will do. Or they'll probably just blame me because I said the F word. But it's like, dude, if you get angry like that, you couldn't watch no comedy shows with all that swearing. You start yelling at the TV, how dare you talk to me like that? Like, yeah, it was crazy. But anywho, hopefully by October I'll know what's going on and I'll get my credit so I can maybe get a Samsung for, baby mama so her phone isn't all broken because the screen's all cracked and stuff. And we even wanted to get the screen fixed. Yo, $500 to fix the screen. And I was like, damn, like, what's the point? Just get a new phone. So, anyways, that was my story. I'll see you in the next video. If you have these same issues with your provider, comment down below, man, because some of these stories are funny as hell. All right, bye.